All right, hey guys, how's it going? Sam here. I'm sorry, just throwing a bit of puke. Just kidding. Okay, so welcome to Sam's MTO special. And as you can guess by this very poorly drawn weird thing, today we are going to be talking about bees. Fun fact about bees, and no birds, just bees. Okay. So as I'm sure you guys know, what do bees make? They make la honey. Okay. Sweet honey. But have you ever thought about how it's made? The process. What bees have to go through. Okay, let's start at the very beginning. A mighty good place to start. Yes, okay. So to begin with, they gotta make these things. What are these? You know? They're called honeycombs. Okay? So they start off kind of roundish, but then they eventually become a very efficient hexagonal shape. Okay? So these honeycombs are made from this substance produced by the bees called beeswax. Okay, so they literally they just kind of secrete it out, kind of poop it out. Okay, so this beeswax comes from special glands in the body, and they will combine it with a little bit of honey, and then it'll become like a waxy kind of substance. All right, and then they put it together, and it becomes this honeycomb. Okay, so what they do and what they use these honeycombs for is, of course, firstly, to store the honey. Okay, so think of these like little honey pots, lots and lots of honey pots. Okay, and secondly, they also use it to keep their babies in. Okay, they use it to raise their young. Okay, maybe not together with the honey. Okay, might get a bit confusing. You just eat it all day. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so there you go. So now that you know how honeycombs are made, the next step is, of course, how they make the most important part, the honey. Okay, so as you can see here, it's kind of like this. They kind of spew it. Okay, but before they spew it, they must gather it. All right. So how do bees do that? So what the bee does is basically it goes out every day, very hardworking. Goes out. Right, flies. Yes. Alright, let's get some straps and be done with. Okay, so they fly out and in search of nice, pretty flowers. Okay, so I'm sure they don't actually care what the flowers look like. They care what the flowers smell like, right? So flowers, of course, have pollen and nectar. Okay, so these bees will go to these fancy looking flowers, okay, and they will eat as much. Well, they will, grab as much of it as they can and take it home to turn into lovely sugary honey. Okay, so as you can imagine, there's not very much of that pollen there, so they got to go to a lot of flowers. Okay, so in the process, a very important process. In the process, they will end up with all this other stuff on them. Okay, so all this is little pollen, okay, that they will carry from one flower to the next, or one plant to the next. Okay, so this process is called pollination. Okay, so it's basically how plants get around. Okay, so because plants can't really move like other animals. They can't go around and say hi to their friends. So if they want to talk to their friends, they gotta use these guys right here. These guys, bees. All right. So do you want to know how much is required to make a little bit of honey? Okay. Do you know how many flowers a bee has to go to before it can make 1 pound of honey? So 1 pound is about 450 grams. Okay, so that's half kilo. Okay, so in order to make 1 pound of honey, the bee has to go to 2 million flowers. Okay, 2 million. Okay, in case that doesn't translate, that is 2 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, flowers. 2 million flowers for 450 grams. Alright? Which is, I guess, not a small amount, but still, think about it. Alright? It's a heck of a lot. Alright, so it's hard work. So I hope you appreciate it. Alright, so now the next thing we'll get into, a fun fact is, hey, what happens if you want to raise your own little bee family? Okay, so raising bees is not an easy task, okay, because these guys are really, really picky. Alright? Yes, bees are very selective. They don't just go for any old place. They need many things. Okay, they need 4 things really. Okay, so if you want to start your own little beehive, okay, you need 4 things. 4. Okay, number 1, you need sun. Okay, you need good sun. Okay, or if it's too hot, then somewhere that's shady. So they like it warm but not too warm. Like us humans as well. All right. Number 2 is they need water. Okay, they need a source of water. Okay, so it needs to be like a stream or something. Okay, they like water. Okay, and number 3 is they need protection from the wind. All right, so you don't want too much snow or rain coming in, because it makes it hard for these little guys to keep their hive regulated. Okay, because the whole reason the hive needs to be situated where it is and shaped the way it is because it needs to maintain a certain temperature. Okay, so yeah, don't have it too exposed. And number 4, they need privacy. Okay, so they like it quiet. They like it very quiet. Okay, so they don't like high traffic areas. Definitely not next to a busy highway. That is a very bad place. Okay, so they like it somewhere quiet, so not near humans or animals, somewhere kind of high up, right? And also somewhere where humans aren't gonna come along and that thing that humans do when they come along and they fog the place. Yeah, because they are very sensitive. Okay, so if some dude comes along and fogs the place, goodbye bees. Okay, so I mean, yeah, it's supposed to get rid of mosquitoes, but it gets rid of bees as well. Okay, because yeah, insects generally they're not a big fan of fog. Okay, so yeah, no fog. Alright, so bees like to keep themselves, do their own thing. Okay, so that is why any place with excessive pollution, and also yeah, they don't like noise pollution. They don't like a lot of noise. Don't like a lot of smelly places. So yeah, they're quite. Alright, so if you're gonna start your own little beehive, make sure it faces south. Okay, face south. Okay, don't ask me why, just the best way. Okay, and put it up nice and high. Okay, off the ground. Right, so it's not damp and animals don't get to it, because as you know, everyone loves honey, right? Everyone. Okay, so the ants and the bears and everything is gonna come for it, man. All right. Yeah, so you do need, and then of course, lastly, I shouldn't have to mention this, but of course you need flowers. You need a place with lots of flowers. Okay, pretty flowers, because these bees, they need to eat something, right? Flower. Okay. So I guess now one other little fun fact I should mention is lately it has been found that, well, I mean, bees, like other animals, need sleep. Okay, and lately it has been discovered that a certain pesticide is disrupting the sleep patterns of bees. Okay, so yeah, remember that bees need sleep as well. So yeah, don't try not to use too much pesticide. Like I mentioned, they're clearly they're very sensitive animals. They like their beauty sleep. Right. So yeah, pesticides, big no-no. So no pesticides and no, I don't know, no fun drugs. Just keeps things nice and simple. Okay. Yeah, they like it. They like it simple. Okay, and yeah, I think that's all I got. All I got for your bees. Yeah, so go find your nice quiet piece of land out in the middle of the jungle. You know, where it's quiet and there's a lot of nature. They're kind of like hermits, aren't they? Yeah, yeah. Put the hive somewhere high up. Well, I mean, somewhere you can get to as well, so not too high. Okay, and then remember to leave some honey for them as well, because you know, they gotta eat too. Don't take all the honey. All right, and have them spaced out so they'll fight. Alright, so thanks Afai for this little motivation, inspiration, and some of this information. And you know, if you want some honey, maybe you can go find Afai, your sugar daddy. Maybe not just yet. Maybe a bit later. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. In the meantime, that's all from me. Have a, what do you think? What's these people riding their like bloody noisy motorbikes around empty streets? Oh, that's probably why, because the streets are empty. They can just, you know, they can just rock it down, just crank it. All right. Anyway, I'm out of here. I hope you have a nice one. Sam out. Doodles. Let's Pikachu for good measure. Pikachu. A sword.